Hey, what's up, guys? This is Chad. This is another screencast with Open Source Systems, screencast 004. This one is a continuation of 001, 002, and 003. What we're going to do is we're going to expand on our CentOS Linux virtual machine a little bit. We're actually going to install a LAMP stack. Now, LAMP stack, for those who don't know, is a Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP technology stack installed on a server, which allows you to essentially do dynamic web pages. And to be honest with you, this is kind of what got Facebook started. Facebook was initially written in PHP and ran a MySQL backend. So with this technology stack now, you have the ability to essentially build pretty much whatever you want. It's a really good foundation, and we're actually going to do that inside of our new virtual machine. So this is a really good screencast to help you understand the technologies involved with the web, how they work together, how they interact. I have to be honest, installing all this stuff on a CentOS Linux box is a little bit more involved than installing on, let's say, a Windows machine or a Mac. You can install this stack on a Mac or on Windows. In other screencasts, we show you how to do that. In this one, we're going to do it on our CentOS Linux box. Most of it is command line driven. So hopefully you have a little bit of familiarity with that, or at least are comfortable with it. But don't worry, because we're going to walk you through this step by step. So anyways, we're going to start off. We're going to go ahead and launch our virtual machine. Select your CentOS virtual machine here. Click the Start button. What this is now essentially I'm launching the CentOS snapshot that we created at the end of screencast 003, which was the guest editions. So this virtual machine does have all the guest editions installed and up to date. So we'll let this boot real quick. All right, fantastic. Now go ahead and log in. So we're going to launch this VM real quick. Go ahead and close this little alert box. All right. So this is my desktop here for my virtual machine. What we're going to do is we're going to start off by going to the upper left-hand corner over here, going to Applications, and then we're going to open up our terminal again. So go to System Tools and Terminal. Now this is our terminal. Another thing I'm actually going to do real quick is I'm going to go ahead and switch to full screen mode. This is going to put the virtual machine in full screen, which for me and you, now it should look like I'm running a Linux box, not a Mac. But don't be fooled. This is a virtual machine running on a Mac. So we're going to go ahead and just expand this real quick, our terminal box. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to do three things here. We first need to install all of our tools, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. Then we need to run the servers, being the Apache web server and the MySQL server. And then we need to test our installation to make sure everything is working okay. So we're going to go through those three steps. First thing we need to do is install. So I'm going to SU as root. We're going to perform all these functions as root. Enter your root password that you created when you built your VM. And again, a wrong password. My apologies. Okay. So now that we are root, you can tell again by this little hashtag there. What we're going to do is we are going to first connect to the internet. You're running DH client like we did before. Once we're connected with an IP address, we're going to install a repository called Webtatic. And the reason we're going to install this is because it contains some of the latest PHP versions. Now in future screencasts, we need the latest PHP versions because we're going to be doing some advanced testing and tools using PHP. So we're going to need the latest version, not the earlier versions that are in the base repository. So in order to install this repo, we need to just run the command rpm and pass it the flags -U, lowercase v, lowercase h. Okay, and then we're going to pull it from the following HTTP address: http://mirror.webtatic.com/yum/el6/latest.rpm. All right, so you notice it'll go through the installation here. Everything looked okay. Now what we're going to do is we are going to install all of our stack, our entire LAMP stack, and we're actually going to do that in just one single command using yum. So now that we have this repo installed, we're going to do yum-y install, and then we're going to do enable -- enable repo equals webtatic. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know. Okay, we're going to install the following packages: httpd space MySQL-server space MySQL space PHP55W space PHP55W-MySQL. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is this is essentially your stack right here. Your HTTPD is your web server, so that's what serves out the HTTP stuff. Your MySQL server, that is your database server. This is actually a command line client that we're installing to interface with our server. This is the PHP, so this is the engine. This is the software that we're going to write our web stuff in. And we are installing the version 5.5. I think it's .7 is what comes with this one, but it's called PHP 5.5. Don't forget that W at the end. That means that it's coming from the webtatic repository. Then this last part here, the PHP 55W-MySQL, that is actually a module. It's a PHP module that allows PHP to connect to the MySQL server. Okay, so we're going to need that as well for future screencasts when we're actually doing some PHP MySQL development. All right, so go ahead and just hit the enter key, and we should see it installing all these packages now. We're going to go ahead and just fast forward this so you don't have to sit through it. All right, that's it. Now we have our LAMP stack installed. Everything looks like it was successfully completed, so we should be good there. Okay, as I stated before, there's 3 things we're doing. We're installing, we're running, and then we're testing. So we just went ahead and did the installation process. I'm going to prove this to you because we're going to run the command php-version, and that's going to show you what version of PHP we're running now, 5.5.7. Okay, so that just shows you that we did install PHP, and we've got I think a version, the latest version, or maybe just a sub version behind, or a minor version behind. So okay, so next thing we have to do is we have to turn on our servers. Now remember, there's 2 servers. There's a web server and there's a database server, and we have to turn those on. So I'm going to show you real quick how we can test our web server. We're just going to open up a browser here. This is Firefox. Now, when we get this server running, it's going to run on a site called localhost. And that's just one word. So if you just type localhost here in the bar, you hit the enter key. What you're going to notice is, well, let's try that again. What you're going to notice is that Firefox says that it's not able to connect to localhost. The reason is because we don't have a server running on localhost yet that will allow Firefox to connect to it. So we need to go ahead and turn that server on. The way we're going to do that is we're first going to run chkconfig, and then we're going to say httpd on. Now what that does is that tells our server to start the web server whenever the server starts. So it'll automatically start from now on. So now we're good. We don't have to do this manual process anymore. We're also going to do that for MySQL. So do chkconfig and MySQL-d on. Okay, so that didn't actually turn on the servers. It just told the operating system, Linux, it just told them to start the servers automatically whenever we boot up our virtual machine. Okay, but now we are going to actually turn the servers on. And the way we do that is we do service space httpd start. Okay. Now you notice here that it told us that it could not reliably determine our fully qualified domain name. That's okay, but the big thing is we just want to make sure that this is okay and it doesn't say fail. All right. So if you say okay there, then you now have a server, and let me prove that to you. So we just turned on our HTTP web server. We're going to go back to the web browser here, hit the refresh button, and now you'll notice that our Apache web server powered by CentOS is up and running. So that's good. Let's go to our MySQL server now. So to start that, we're going to go service MySQL-d start. This one says a few more things, but really what we're looking at the end here is okay and okay. We just want to make sure that that doesn't fail, okay? Now that's it. That is step 2. We have installed our lamp packages, our lamp stack. We are running our lamp stack. Now we just need to test. And the way we're going to test this is we're first going to create some PHP code, okay? And we're going to do that using an inline command editing tool called Vim, okay? So the way we're going to run this is we're going to do vi space /var /www /html, and then we're going to do /index.php, okay? So we are now creating this file called index.php. Go ahead and hit the I key on your keyboard, the letter I. Okay, now what that does, that puts you in insert mode, so now we can put the PHP code. So go ahead and put the following. Do a less than, and then a question mark PHP. That tells that we're going to do some PHP code. And just run the following code, PHP info, and then do the parens there. Do a semicolon, do another question mark, and then a greater than sign, okay? That is our PHP code that we're running to test our PHP installation. Now hit the escape key to escape out of insert mode and hit :WQ. Okay, look at the bottom left-hand side there, you see the :WQ, and then hit the enter key. Okay, that actually saves that file. Now if we go back to our web browser and we refresh, you'll notice now that we have some PHP stuff that shows up. So this is all really good signs. This means that really our entire lamp stack is up and running. It's really that simple. The only thing we're going to do real quick is we're going to go ahead and just secure our MySQL installation because, well, I like security. So to do that, we're going to type MySQL _SEC and go ahead and hit the tab key. That's going to tab out the following command, but it's MySQL _secure _ installation. Hit enter. Go ahead and enter your root password. My apologies. This is our root password for our database, which we don't have one right now. So go ahead and just hit the enter key. Don't type anything in here. Just hit enter. Okay, so we are going to say yes. Go ahead and set a root password. So we're going to set our root password here. We're going to remove anonymous users. Yes. We're going to disallow remote login. Yes. We're going to remove the test database. Yes. Again, hit the Y key and hit enter for all these. And that's it. So we now have MySQL installed, secured, ready to go. One thing we can do if you want, we can do a service mysqld and then a restart. That should restart the MySQL server just to make sure that these security changes are applied. So that is it. That's we now have a full lamp installation on our CentOS machine. Hopefully that was pretty easy. If you have any questions, please reach out to us on our website, ossys.com. Also, feel free to visit our community section, ossys.com/community, where you can sign up for free. Reach out to us. We're there to help. Thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you on the next one. Bye.